Grew up, raised on Flower Street. Always wanted to go to East because that was what district we were in, and I had older neighbor guys that we'd come and watch play football and basketball. My wife went to East High. All my kids went and graduated from East High. Still live on the east side of town. The only places I've coached and taught are on the east side of town, Easter Foothill, and an adult school. I really like East Bakersfield. Would not move for anything. It's just the culture of it, everything, you know, people moving out, but you know, as soon as somebody moves out, people move in. And it's a slower moving area than it is on the other side of town, and I wouldn't give it up for anything. And since they've redone the school, it's the best looking campus in town. You know, my brother was here. He was a senior when I was a freshman. And he played on the baseball team with Johnny Callison and Dave Jackson and Corny Morales, all of whom will be in the Hall of Fame after tonight. And all those guys were 8 feet tall in my, imagination and everything. And we watched basketball since the time we were little kids. As soon as we could, get a ride up here, we hitchhiked. We lived in a 200 block of Flower, and it was okay to do. You went out and hitchhiked to the games, and then when I came to school for the first semester, my older brother didn't have a car, so we go out and stand on the corner of Alta Vista and Flower Street and hitchhike. Usually get rides with the gals that worked at Kern General. It's Kern Medical now. And we just walked from Kern Medical and onto the campus. And when I was a student, I was involved in athletics and student government like most kids. I came back and started teaching 5 years after I graduated. And it was tough in that my teachers would want me to call them by their first name. And I couldn't do it. Ward Fulcher was here. He said, "No, you call me Ward, not Mr. Fulcher." And as long as I was here, I couldn't call him Ward. I always had to call him Mr. Fulcher. Same way with Mr. Bell. I had to call him Mr. Bell. Finally got around to being able to call Gene Fleet Gene, but it was Mr. Fleet for a long time. So that part of it was kind of tough, but it was neat to come back to where you went to high school. Then got involved. I was one of 6 people who got on the ground floor and helped establish the Health Careers Academy, which I probably look at as something that I'm the most proud of as a student and as a teacher. Of course, you got to remember they had like 7 football teams back then. And there was football on Thursdays, football Friday, there's football Saturday. And so your days were taken up. You come out here and watch the C class on Saturday at 10 o'clock, play up on Permenter Field. And so your school week was really 6 days, because everybody came, and it was just what you did. Your life was around East High, and wasn't ready to go away. And I was working for my dad at the time, and the Forest Service, so I liked that combination and staying here and going to Bakersfield College, and got a great education, Bakersfield College. I never regretted going there. And then on up to Chico State, because one of my good friends, Dick Teener, same one that sat with me with the cheerleaders when we were freshmen, was up at Chico. So I went up there, and that's where I got my undergraduate and graduate degrees, and then came back here and taught at East High. We had guys like Ted Roberson, who's coming into the hall, and then Carl Meyer. But I had the Ensley brothers and Cornell Jordan, and I had so many good athletes, and Ralph had so many good athletes. It was a golden age for athletics at East High, because there were so many good athletes, and there were also good kids. In 1975-76, we won the Valley. We went to the TOC. It was then the Northern California playoffs. We'd already gone up to the McClymonds tournament in preseason and played Oakland Tech and some of those schools, and got it was quite a high level of competition. We beat Cupertino in the first game, which was the highlight of probably the career of our basketball. We didn't believe in just playing one sport. It was important that they played all 3. Number 1, it kept them out of trouble. Number 2, it also gave kids better grades, believe it or not, because they played all 3 sports. And they were better athletes when they got out of high school. instead of just concentrating in one sport. And then to come back and teach and coach at where he went to high school, it was quite a thrill. Quite a thrill. It had some anxieties. Let me tell you, when you're teaching and coaching at the same school your kids are at, it's no Brady Bunch, especially when you're a dean of students and your kids are at the school and all their friends know that your dad's the dean of students. And I got a whole list of them that deserve to go in the Hall of Fame, I think, before I do. But I guess a lot of people say that when they're on a committee. But this is a different kind of Hall of Fame. It's not just an athletic Hall of Fame. And so I feel good that I get to go in because I want to make sure that things like the Health Careers Academy and some of those other things you did get some notoriety too, because they deserve it. They don't get the headlines like the athletics do, or my kids that played for me are in it, and of course Ted and Carl going in tonight, and probably leaving somebody out. But there are a lot of others that I had here at East High that are in the Hall of Fame, and that's fun. That's fun to see and to be a part of them.